Welcome back to Man Across New Horizons. I'm dear darling. As we see what's going on our lovely island of Fawnhollow today. Sorry, starting a video off immediately coughing, clearing my throat, you know, just getting all of a, I don't know, I was going to say like bad juju out of her or something, but I don't know why that came to mind. It sounds like an old-timey phrase or something, isn't it? Anyway, that's not what I'm going to talk about. I don't really know what to talk about. I'm a little bit tired, but not like, sleepy, I suppose. You know, I had okay night's sleep last night. I'm just like, I don't know, you know. It's one of those days, but it's not one of those. It's not one of those days. It's just one of those days, you know. Good evening, everyone. Right now in Fawnhallow, it's 7:34 p.m. on Monday, May 22nd, 2023. You know, one of those days where you're just like, it's not like a 0 out of 10 day. It's not a 1 out of 10 day. I don't even think it's 2 or 3 out of 10. It's like a 4 out of 10 day, you know, where it's just like, you know, the things are fine. I'm just like a little bit more fatigued than usual, but I don't really know why I'm more fatigued than usual. I don't really feel like more tired or anything. I guess it's Monday, but it's not like I mean, I don't like hate Mondays with like a passion or anything. I understand certainly with fatigue because, you know, Mondays are, you know, even though, you know, Mondays of course are very productive and all that sort of thing, it's, you know, hard for Mondays to compete with the freedom of like a Saturday or a Sunday. You're not allowed to move away, Vivian. Sorry, you're here forever. You belong here. I don't really know what to talk about today. What should we talk about today? I don't really have many conversation topics on mind. Let me just I'm just sort of trying to think. I'm just being like, I'm turning things over in my head. No, genuinely I've got nothing. This way, you know, turn to r/games. Do we, and I'm gonna be honest, I don't think we ever finished our holiday conversations, which is weird to think about, but honestly I can't be bothered at this point to go back to it. It's been like 2 months now, right, since I've come back from a holiday. I guess I could carry on, but I don't really remember what I got up to or anything. Maybe I should just talk about the big things on holiday. You know what? Why am I dissing on a holiday? The holiday was a great time. Maybe that's the sort of thing I need to reinvigorate myself to be like, yeah, you know, remember when I went on holiday and we did a load of cool stuff. That's what needs to be not plastered really, but like embedded in my mind, where it's like, ooh, you know. What else is this? I'm not sure why this is the case, but one of my friends seems to have added one random photo to the holiday album for a week ago. So, you know, got quite a ways after, you know, we all came back. And another friend has just written, I appreciate this essential addition. Very strange. Anyway, we're gonna scroll through photos until I can think about like what conversation topic I actually got up to, because, you know, I don't got conversations in my head today. You know, sometimes you don't work at all for them, and sometimes you really gotta work and, you know, dig out the conversational minds just to see what ends up bearing fruit or not. And I think I probably went past the place of talking about caravan. I remember talking about this. Traveling. Where's this? This is in Granada. What were we doing in Granada? I don't know. I think did I talk about the Alhambra? I think this is where I got up to. You know, there's like Calamario thing. We went to the Alhambra and that sort of thing. My advice to you, if you're going to Granada to go see the Alhambra, is you should buy tickets in advance and make sure you bring ID, because apparently you need ID to get into Alhambra. Luckily, most of us actually had ID. One of my friends didn't like bring it because, to be fair, like he didn't particularly expect to need it. But we still got in anyway. I think like he just had to like fill in some sort of form of like liability. I don't remember. I don't even genuinely know why they need ID necessarily. Because it was the only place we went in Spain. It was the only place I can really remember where you had to like register with like a form of ID. Like we used our passports, I think. Or did we use driver's license? I can't remember, to be honest, but something like that. I don't even remember the history of Alhambra very well, so I can't really describe it to you. I assume it was like some Arabic family's like castle or something like that. Like I think I remembered it at the time, but now I don't. So, you know, it's a little bit difficult for me to. What was this shot of me? It's a terrible shot. Can I pick it? Can I pick a different shot from this? Isn't that the whole point of like auto live play? Is I can choose a different final shot from this. What happened to your voice, Katrina? Is it me for a second? Did it go? I don't know if I'm just hearing things or whatever, but Yeah, Alhambra is just like a really cool, like big old castle place, which we didn't actually go inside the building for, but we went around the outside garden areas, which maybe I did talk about. I genuinely don't really remember, to be honest. It's crazy, you know. I said my bits and pieces about like, you know, rich people's homes and houses and gardens before, and being like, I can't even imagine living in a place like this. Just how outrageous it is, I suppose, like how insane it would be to live here. Like, I mean, insane enough that you could spend a whole day just touring around the entire area is pretty crazy in the first place, isn't it? Like, like some of these photos would be really good if Google just chose a different auto live feature. And also, this was before I had my haircut. I forgot how long my hair was. Oh my god, my hair is so long. And very messy, might I add. But yeah, it was just like a really nice garden area. We just sort of walked around. You know, I don't really know what to talk about, to be honest. I'm just looking at the things and being like, I don't really remember much of this. Well, okay, I do remember it, but I don't remember the history behind it, except for these are some like really nice views, some like really nice places, some very weird graffiti I can see. It's probably a bit weird talking about this sort of thing without you actually being able to see what I'm looking at, but you know, that's just gonna be how it has to be. You're gonna have to like make it up in your mind. This is a really very scenic shot of some flags. What's that unfurling from a pole that brings the nations to its knees or something? That's a poem called Flag, which we learn about in English literature in our conflict poetry thing. And I quote it all the time every time I hear the word unfurling or anything about like a flag. And I have no idea why. Because I wasn't even like, after we read that poem, I wasn't even like, wow, that's a really impactful poem for me. I was like, wow, it really like hits home or anything. It was just sort of like, that was a poem. But I don't know why. It's one of the ones which have lasted in my memory for the longest time, and I quote all the time for really no apparent reason. I don't even know how it goes. I see flag poem. What's that unfurling from a pole? Poetry archive. What's that fluttering in a breeze? It's just a piece of cloth that brings a nation to its knees. What's that unfurling from a pole? It's just a piece of cloth that makes the guts of men grow bold. What's that? Oh my god, I thought I nearly just dug up the tree trunk there. What's that rising over a tent? It's just a piece of cloth that dares a coward to relent. What's that flying across a field? It's just a piece of cloth that I'll live the blood you bleed. How can I possess such a cloth? Just ask for a flag, my friend, then blind your conscience to the end. It's not that I think it's not like an impactful poem, to be honest, but I'm just like, it's not my favourite poem, I suppose, of a bunch. I feel like it's a thing where, like, you know, I get it, you know, I like it in concept and that sort of thing, but the execution of it just doesn't, I don't know. It doesn't grip me as much as, you know, things like Yellow Palm does, or like Out the Blue or something like that. But for whatever reason, just that, what's that unfurling from a pole, just sticks in my mind. Oh yeah, there were just like also a load of random cats just out and about in like the Alhambra place. I remember, oh yeah, I remember there was a sign. I feel like I took a picture of it. Here it goes. Please do not feed the cats. It's prohibited to abandon animals, to hurt the cats, and to remove them from a colony, which is also fair. Like, I didn't expect it to be a whole cat colony in this area. You know, it's kind of like a cat castle, if anything. I mean, cats kind of just like act like that no matter where they are, right? They sort of just like take over the area, be like, yeah, this is my house now. You know, why are you living in my abode? You got to I just clicked the save button. I don't know what I did. how do I choose a different thing in these Google Photos? I kind of want to do that now. Google Photos, motion, choose different photo. Save one frame from. Well, you can. What? Does make when I tap on middle, it doesn't do anything. Screen. Why am I doing a screen recording? Google Photo can now select individual frames on motion pictures. Swipe up to show image details. Okay. Image details. Shots of a photo. Where? Save to your photos. Oh, that save button just saved this one individual photo to my photos. Why did I do that? I didn't mean to do that. Can I delete it again? I don't really need it in my photos. It's already here in these photos. March 10th. Alright, you know. It's me just doing a bit of admin work, I suppose. While I'm recording an Animal Crossing video. I feel like you're used to it by now. No, this is not Starshard Island. I thought we went to Starshard Island again, but no, it's just sort of like nighttime, I suppose. Okay, this is March 10th. I mean, I don't see the photo yet. Oh, there it is. Delete. I don't need that photo. I don't understand how you choose a different photo from a live photo. How do I do it? It's impossible. Google Photos, you made this impossible. That's a really nice photo otherwise. I mean, there probably is a way, and you know, I'll look it up later. Who really cares? As of right now, but you know, I'm always on the hunt for more photos that I can use for things like, you know, profile pictures, etc., etc., etc. In my real life, of course. Yeah, I don't really remember what I was saying. And oh yeah, Cat's Castle is the next step up from Cat's Cradle, I suppose. I mean, I don't think Alhambra is actually like a castle. I don't really know what it's called. Maybe it is a castle. Let's see. Alhambra. And I think my friend told me it meant like the red in Arabic or something like that. It's a palace. Okay, here we go. Palace and a fortress complex in Granada. Most famous monument of Islamic architecture. There you go. It's a World Heritage Site in Southern Europe. What does Alhambra mean? Google Translate, can you translate this? Oh, I guess it needs to highlight this right to left. Alchemy. What? Really? Alhambra derives from Arabic, meaning the red one. Yeah, okay, that was it. I was like, that's why my friend told me that. Because Al means the. I know that much at least. And I guess Hambra means red of some sort. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, by the way. I do not speak Arabic, so I apologise. Oh no, I closed the Google Photos. Why did I close it? I was meant to not close it so I could actually just look. I mean, to be honest, Alhambra is just like a really nice place to look at. It's got really like cool things to look at. You know, there's this like waterfall. Like we didn't even go inside it. We went to the gardens, as I said. I was like some farmland in like the middle of a fortress, which is wild to look at. just be like, I can't believe this place is big enough to have farmland. It was one of a few times we had a stranger wanted to take wanted to take photos of us, but it's more like we took photos for a stranger and they took photos for us. And it was like, whoa, we didn't even ask you. I mean, most of the times we just kind of take selfies, to be honest, because I feel like that's kind of like flavour of this generation, isn't it? You know, we take selfies as group shots rather than, you know, someone else taking a group shot. Not all the time, I suppose, but to me, like whenever I use like group photos and that sort of thing, I always like tend to gravitate towards the selfie ones. I guess because they kind of feel a bit more personal in a sense. It's not. I'm not saying that you shouldn't take these group shots or whatever with someone else taking the photo. I think there's definitely a time and place, but when it's sort of like I guess I always kind of like the more. Not impromptu is not what I want. Candid sort of photos where it's just like, oh, you know, grab your phone, take a selfie, you know, keep it going. Hello, Joy-Cons. Something like that rather than a group shot. It's not like it feels staged because that's probably the wrong way to look at photos. Like all the photos are staged, obviously. But it's more like, I don't know. It's just sort of like preference, right? I guess it also kind of depends what you're thinking about. Because if I was like, you know, oh, what photo would I like for my social media page? Selfie makes perfect sense. What would I want as like a professional photo for whatever? I would probably want a stage photo by like a professional photographer with, like, you know, like a camera stand, etc., etc. I don't know where I'm going with this. I don't think I've really settled on a topic. Anyway, Cat Castle, which I'm just going to use because it's pretend that's what it actually is, you know, a castle, just because it's got like nice alliteration for it. Yeah, Alhambra. It's just like pretty cool, to be honest. What else can I say? And it's basically like the landmark in Granada, and I'm sure inside it's even cooler. So if anything, I suppose it's one of the sort of things where, you know, you actually get punished, I suppose, for not buying the tickets. Because we didn't turn up that late. I think we turned up like around midday or whatever. Oh yeah, because we went there like after lunch or so. So we probably were there like immediately after lunch, and they just ran out of tickets. They had no more tickets to sell, and we were like, whoa, okay. But you could still buy tickets to the gardens, and you know they're still incredibly impressive. So it's not like as much of a loss, I suppose, to sit in that place anyway. Okay, so we can't pick things up. Okay, Okay, let's go clear our inventory by selling some things. And then let's go... We probably need to get these fossils analysed and then sell some stuff too. Yeah, I don't know. I took a lot of selfies in this place for some reason. You know, like more so than usual, I would say. I also stole one of my friend's hats at the time because it was sunny. And I don't have sunglasses. I should get myself one of those baseball caps. I was thinking about like at one point, like just to get like a basic old like flat cap or baseball cap. I don't really wear them, to be honest, but you know, just being able to have it in your like sort of wardrobe as a potential option for an outfit is always a nice idea, isn't it? I guess I'll sell you star fragments too. Judge's Bell coconuts? I guess we don't need to sell coconuts, but what else was cool? Oh yeah, there was this cool like hand railing thing, which basically had like water running through it in the garden. I remember that. Maybe I did talk about Alhambra. I can't remember. We definitely got up to this sort of area when I was talking about things, but I don't know, it was like these handrails which got the steps, but instead of being like actual proper handrails or whatever, it was basically just like a channel for water, like a little like mini river water thing to flow through, which you might be like, that seems rather impractical, and I guess it kind of is, but it was also kind of cool at the same time, you know. I suppose it's the sort of thing when you have money, you might as well flex at that point. It's sort of like, if you're gonna have this sort of money and you spend it on like a massive garden, that sort of thing, you might as well make the garden like really cool, right? it feels like a waste just to have like all this space and spend all this much money on it and not at least, you know, put in a bit more money to make it much more like aesthetically like appealing or enticing or like, you know, artistically of merit, artistically experimental. And I don't really know like what I'm trying to quantify this as, right? Because then at least you can, I don't know, become like a wild heritage site like Alhambra is, and, you know, impress tourists for generations to come. I think it was something I said actually while we were talking around. It's like, I can't imagine having a garden this big, you know, big enough that you could actually denote like different areas of a garden, such that you'd be like, oh, you know, I feel like I'm going to walk through my garden today. I think I'm going to go through like the tulip area or something. I don't think it was a tulip area, but you know what I mean? Like, it's large enough that you can designate different areas, being like, oh, you know, I feel like reading in front of a fountain today. Oh, not the fountain, not the circular fountain, the long fountain, you know. And the one which is like pretty far from my house, because, you know, I just want to put some distance between me and like the other inhabitants right now or something. You know? You get me? Anyway, it was just kind of cool to walk around. That's probably what I say. Is, you know, similar sort of things to when I was talking about like Royal Casino or whatever. The other sort of not landmark was, but you know that. Anyway, Cat Castle. Like we went to this part. I can't. It's in my head. I kept calling it Alcatraz because that's only how I can remember it. It was not called Alcatraz. I think it was called something like It was something very similar to Alcatraz. Obviously, it was not Alcatraz because it was not a prison. It's like Alcazar or something like that, which was something which was 20 minutes walk away or something from Alhambra. I think it was still in Granada. Which is, that was a cat castle place, or cat colony, I guess. I don't know if that's like the official term for it. Let's see. Cat colony. Cat colony is a group of usually related female cats and their offsprings. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, so they're very much feral cats. You're not meant to like pet them or anything like that, I assume, because they're kind of, I mean, they're still wild animals. You know, who knows what's going on. But it's kind of like actually it's not quite to the level of like those Japanese islands, which are just like cat islands or whatever have you. Of course, same, because at least from videos I see about, there's like cats everywhere. This one, I guess it was a bit more sparse, maybe because there was a lot more foot traffic of people through the place, and the cats weren't as interested in, you know, hanging around with a load of people who might potentially get in the way, or you know, mistreat them, etc., you know, or they might be suspicious of, like even if they are kind-hearted, you know, or whatever. And I think, you know, as a wild animal, you got to have your suspicions. Because otherwise how else do you sort of like live? It's a dog-eat-dog world out there, isn't it? Mother Nature can be cruel and unkind. Oh yes, okay, the stamp rally. I forgot International Museum Day. We've already done this like 3 years ago, Bravo, so unfortunately we're not going to be partaking in it this time. I don't remember where this is, but we took some pictures at the top of somewhere. Oh, this is me by the flagpoles, I remember now. Blavers, I just need you to assess these fossils, just so I can sell them. I think we'll try and talk to another villager. We haven't got a recipe, but that's fine, you know, the recipe, no big deal, as they say. I guess this must be the gift shop, right? I don't remember the gift shop, to be honest. Did I buy something from the gift shop? Maybe. And this is us just going on a walk somewhere to, I don't know, oh, a very extravagant sort of cathedral area, which I guess we'll talk about at some point, a different point. What are these? Like little gnomes? I don't know. I don't think I talked about this, but this, the thing that I'm going to talk about, I suppose next time I want to talk about the holiday conversations is one of the most visually impressive, I think, like places I've been to. Oh, I remember this meal. Where is it? Is that like Burger King or something? We went to a surprising amount of fast food areas in Spain. Mainly because I guess we travel a lot, so it's a lot easier just to get fast food and then like go somewhere, but it's also the sort of thing where I was like, eh. My friends did want to try it. I think I spoke about this before, you know, like close after the holiday finished. Do I already know how to make this? Probably. I think that's what you said. So sorry, I don't think the conversations were all that great today. to be perfectly honest, I don't know. I guess I've got like a mental fatigue. I think it's not quite like much of a physical one. It's just sort of like a, you know, I want to take it easy today, but I also got to, you know, do stuff. So it's you know, caught between a rock and a hard place. Sometimes you just sort of do things and it ends up energizing you anyway, right? Anyway, I guess we're going to round off this episode here. I don't know what I'm going to title this episode. I'm going to call it Cat Castle because I don't really talk about cat colonies. I don't really talk about Alhambra either, so it feels a bit misleading to talk to title it about. But anyway, if you have been watching, thank you very much. It's been Animal Crossing New Horizons. I've been Dear Darling. Likes, comments, subscription, shares are greatly appreciated. Twitter, Discord down below. Hope we can see each other again, but for now it's our farewell. So until next time, perfect timing. Bye bye for now.